starting to get going, but nothing strong or severe just yet. Temperatures are hot. We don't have a lot of rain, so 94 degrees in H-Town. That feels like temp 104. At least we're staying below the triple-digit mark. However, it is still dangerous heat, so please be careful out there. Here is the weather maker for the weekend, the pattern change that some of you possibly are looking forward to. This front is going to stall out this weekend and bring us more clouds, more waves of rain, and hopefully we can erase a few more degrees off of those toasty temps out there. So not a ton of rain here right now, but over towards Austin and up towards Jackson, and we do have some heavier downpours, and gradually that moisture is going to start to spread our way as we go into Saturday and Sunday. So here's the Saturday setup. We got the front to our north, moisture increasing. There will be the chance for more downpours. In fact, we bumped the rain chance up for your Saturday, and there will also be a chance that there could be maybe one or two flooded streets developing out there. So you can see our flash flood risk for today and that marginal low 1 out of 4 risk, and that extends to the entire area for tomorrow. So it's not a situation where you need to cancel your weekend plans, but keep in mind you may have some weather that could cause you briefly a few issues. So have your rain gear. Watch out for any potential flooded streets, especially tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, Ramisha. Call it the long-awaited return of the Big Three to Houston, except this time we've got our own team for the very first time making their debut here at the Toyota Center. 3-on-3 basketball league. Let's talk about it now with the founder, the man himself, Ice Cube. Welcome to the Texas Live and Local Show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course. Like, I mean, I get the updates from you every single year. We're on year 8.
Yes, year 8.
All right, and finally, H-Town, the Rig Hands, we got a team.
Finally, yeah.
Yes, tell us how that came about, because you had it on your mind for a while.
Oh, we love Houston. Houston has always supported the Big Three. You know, if you look at our numbers, you know, Houston, as far as ratings, is always up there. And we haven't come here enough in these 8 years. So, you know, we was happy when we started to sell franchises that an ownership group from Houston decided to put a team here. So we get to come here every year with a game, and it's going to be fun tomorrow at the Toyota Center.
Yeah, so Rig Hands, tell me how that came about, because I've been trying to wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, well, that's the name that the owners picked,
okay.
The Rig Hands. I think they're big in energy.
Okay.
Yeah. You know how they make their money, so they really wanted the Oilers, but you know, NFL wasn't gonna come off of that name, so you know you got the Rig Hands, and they was actually called another name last year. These same guys, they were called Bivouac, and they won the championship. So this year, without Gerald Green, it's not going that well.
It's not going that great. So we've already been eliminated, right, from the postseason, from the playoffs.
I think so. You know, it'll be hard to get in with 3 wins. So, you know, but they still are competitive. They've been in every game, and they play Dallas tomorrow, so that
hurts my heart.
That should get him some incentive to win for the Houston audience.
Yeah, I mean, we are Texas Live and Local, so we're happy for Dallas, I guess we're supposed to be. But tell me what you've learned over the 8 years, because every year you do something different, bigger, just something to kind of adjust.
Just learn, you know, what the fans want, what people really expect out of you know, entertainment like this. You know, basketball, sports, we mix a lot of culture in there. The basketball is fast and physical, just like people like it. But we have fun with everything else. So if you come tomorrow, you'll see, you know, dunkers, dancers, DJs, performers. We got a lot of bells and whistles, you know, in between the games.
All right, so explain how it goes. It's 4 50-minute games.
Yeah, 4 games, first to 50 wins. So if they do it in 40 minutes, whatever, you know, first to 50 wins, then we move to the next game. And you get to see the entire league. You get to see all the players, all the coaches. We have a lot of Hall of Fame coaches. Clyde the Glide Drexler is our commissioner.
He's been in it from the beginning,
right?
He's
been there from day one. Mm-hmm. Calvin Murphy is the coach of the Rig Hands.
Does he dress up the same way he does?
Yeah. he the best dressed in the big three
Ever.
by far. It's not even close.
And in the NBA.
Yeah, you know, so that dude's always got style and flair. And so we also got Vernon Maxwell as an assistant coach for the DMV trilogy. So Houston's finest is going to be in the house tomorrow.
For sure. And I'm so happy Vernon, like, he's dipping into everything right
Yeah.
now because he's a big deal. And I'm glad
He is.
people are making sure he remains a big deal.
I mean, he's super entertaining, you know, a great guy. And he has the passion to win. And, you know, his team is struggling too a little bit. So yeah, I think they're going to fight to get a win tomorrow.
All right. And so there are also going to be performances tomorrow.
Yeah, we got my man Bun B coming through. Mm-hmm. He gonna bless us with a performance and Lil Kiki.
Little South Side.
Yeah, and then, you know, my man, I got Scarface and Willie D coming to hang out. They not performing, but they just gonna hang out and, you know, when
Do
you
what
come to
ghetto
Houston,
boys do.
yeah, when you come to Houston, you got to have Houston's finest in the house.
All right, for sure. And so let's talk about the big three a little bit more because this gives not just the fans the opportunity to see those longtime players that they've loved for so long, but this gives the players some longevity, some back in the game. Tell me how important that is for them.
Real important. You know, these guys have honed their skills since they was little kids, and they look up. Some of them find themselves out of the NBA and not really knowing what, you know, they got these skills. They don't want to go overseas all the time. You know, really thought about when I first started how much this has, you know, put the pride back into these guys who've, like I said, they've honed their skills, and a lot of them got every trick in the book, you know, and to not be able to use it in a professional manner against their peers, it was torture for a lot of guys. So to be able to, you know, this league, you know, puts them back into the arena. You know, they back at the Toyota Center. A lot of them used to play there, you know, so having back there, you know, playing the game they love against their peers, you know, they're having a ball.
Yeah, you're really making history, and you're continuing to try to change any aspect of the game. You made an offer to Caitlin Clark for $5 million. That was for her to play on the team.
Yeah. You know, when we made that offer, you know, she was coming, you know, she was deciding whether she was going to be you know, she was coming out of college into the WNBA. So we made it where if she wanted to, she could play in both. You know, our sponsors had come to us and said if you get her, you know, we would really unlock a lot of, you know, sponsor dollars for, you know, somebody who was coming out with that much heat. And so as a businessman, we had to make the offer.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it didn't happen. A lot of people saying, why you didn't make the offer to other players? But, you know, we didn't really get an indication from the sponsors that any other players would make that big of an impact. So, you know, we just tried to do the right thing by the league. It didn't happen. We wish her well, and we're moving on.
Yeah, absolutely. So would she have been the first female?
Yes, to play.
To play.
You know, we have Nancy Lieberman as a coach.
As a coach, yeah.
And we've had Lisa Leslie for years. They both won championships in the Big Three, so, and Coach of the Year, which was voted by the other coaches. So
that's so wonderful.
Yeah, it's amazing. But we haven't had a player yet, so maybe one day. You never know.
No, absolutely. All right, let's talk a little bit outside of the Big Three, because when all that's over, you're going back on tour.
Yeah, I'm back at it.
Truth to Power.
Truth to Power, 4 decades of attitude. It's my biggest production I think I've ever done.
Really? And you've done some pretty big productions.
Yeah, this is bigger than anything I've ever done. And, you know, I get to, you know, celebrate 40 years of music and go through you know, those 4 decades of the music and the journey, and you know what's gotten me from there to here, and do it, you know, on stage, and it's almost like a one-man show.
So this
a lot
isn't,
of
because
ways.
last time you were here, everybody was here with you at the Smart Financial Center. You
Yeah.
brought, it was the West Coast tour,
Yeah.
which, I mean, that was amazing. But this is just, are you solo?
Yeah, dolo, by myself. And this is how I want it. You know, usually on tour, on them kind of big shows, you know, I don't have enough time to go through my whole catalog. But
Because you give us like a little snippet
snippets
of it here
of this
and,
and
there.
that. But here I can go through my whole catalog. I can do some of the songs that people been wanting me to do, but I just never had the stage time to do it. Now I have the time to do it.
That is going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. And so, just a little bit about the 4 decades of attitude. You know,
Yeah.
this is just a little side note. Whenever I have to move, like if I move in residence from one place to another, before the movers get there, I put on Ice Cube. Don't take nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's the whole attitude
Yes.
of what you bring.
Yeah, you know, it's the passion, the energy. You know, attitude, you know, people take it a lot of different ways, but I just mean, you know, it means standing up for yourself. Really, that's really what it's all about, is having the courage to stand up to your, for yourself in any circumstance.
Yeah, I think the first Ice Cube song I ever heard, Once Upon a Time in the Project.
Yeah. See, I haven't had a chance to perform that.
I don't remember.
Now I get a chance to perform that song, and you know, people like songs like My Summer Vacation and you know, Ghetto Vet. You know, it's songs deep in my catalog that I never get to because I'm always just doing the hits. And so, not saying these aren't hits, but these weren't big singles, but they're loved by fans. So it's time to get to those songs.
It is, and you happen to have Houston as the last stop
Yes.
on the tour.
So everything should be polished and perfected. You know, we get all the kinks out, and then, you know, rock the house.
Yeah, back at the Toyota Center for that one as well.
Yeah.
How has your rider changed from when you started to right now? Like any special requests that you have now, maybe?
You know, I don't think it's changed a lot. It's just I got more people, so it's more of the same.
Give us more.
Yeah, more of the same. But you know, riders are crazy anyway, because you look around and it's a bunch of cool stuff that, you know, everybody picking on and eating on, and then, you know, most of it is probably left in the dressing room
It is.
for the people that's cleaning up.
Yeah, okay, and let's go a little bit now into Friday. I know you've said that there will be a final Friday.
Yes.
And that is in the works, or you're kind
Yeah.
of dipping in?
In the works. You know, we're writing it and getting it together now, and hopefully we start filming soon, and you know, we do a great movie that everybody loves.
And do you have a final script already, or are you still kind of?
We're still putting it together. I've had a few, but unfortunately we wasn't able to get those made, and then some of the stars passed away, like John Witherspoon and Tiny Lister and A.J. Johnson, and so we had to, you know, rethink what the movie need to be.
Yeah, key characters, key people,
Yes,
you know,
very key.
not that they could not be replaced, but maybe someone else that people love as much.
Yeah, you know, we can't replace them, but we can, you know, honor them and, you know, introduce new characters to the franchise.
Okay, is this with your last tour? Is this your last tour, or is this just no? Okay.
No, this is not my last
not a
tour. You know,
farewell.
I'm a young man, you know. I still got some tours in me.
Okay, so anything specific that you want the Houston audience to know about tomorrow and reasons why they should come out? Because it's going to be lit. Like, you have a lot going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. You know, it's affordable, so it's family friendly. You know.
Yeah.
And you can bring out everybody and not break the bank. And this is our only time here. You know, you can always watch us on TV, but you can only see us live tomorrow. So come on out and check us out.
Okay, for sure. All right. Well, thank you so much. We're happy to have you here as much as possible in the Houston area. You've always had shown love for Houston. I mean, for 4 decades.
I love Houston.
All right. Houston loves you back. Ice Cube is in the building right now. Let's toss to the next break that we're going to. Ruben's Rides is parked at Dyken Park right now, where we usually see baseball all-stars. This weekend, it's going to be full of all-star rides. Ruben Dominguez is checking things out.
The All-Star Car Show, guys, it is a one-of-a-kind event. It has never happened on an MLB field, but guess who's first? The Houston Astros.
That's right. We like to be first all the time.
And this is a home run already, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's feeling really good. The cars look great, and they look great on our field.
It is beautiful to be here with you this morning, and thank you for letting us in for a little sneak peek. All right, Lamborghini, guys, this is a beauty. This is one of 20 that you just saw, by the way. All right, Rachel, I think this is more your style, McLaren, right?
Yeah, I like the color, nice and dark.
Yeah.
And I'll take a hypercar any day.
Nice and fast too. That's a beauty. I've never seen one of those in person. I'm a little partial to this Porsche, I got to tell you.
It's pretty beautiful. I love the color too.
Yeah. We're not going to get into the nuts and bolts or the specs here, guys. We're just admiring. We're just walking around. It's kind of like me in an art gallery. I don't really know anything about art. I just know I love looking at it.
And that's exactly it.
So for folks that are coming down, I know that tickets are available at the door. They can also go online, correct?
Correct. Astros.com/car show, and you can get tickets.
That is a thing of beauty. The tickets and the cars, by the way. Okay, here we go. I love this. I love anything that looks this fast.
Well, anything with a racing stripe.
Anything with a racing stripe, I am into it. All right, so we're going to have about 400 cars in the building. Is that correct?
Well, 400 cars on site. In the building, we'll have about 100 cars.
Okay.
And then out on our lots, out here on Crawford Street, in
cool.
Apache Grove, we have cars everywhere, all around the building and in the building.
That's amazing. It's really weird. We were talking about this earlier. You know, I've stood on this field so many times for opening day or opening the playoffs or the postseason or World Series. It is very weird, but very cool having all these cars here.
It is very cool having
Surreal.
all these cars here, and very surreal.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I think this is a great thing, and I hope you guys do it again, man, because I think this is going to be a hit with the fans. And roof will be closed when folks come into the park,
yeah,
right?
Roof closed tomorrow, nice
AC
and
blasted.
cool. AC blasted, nice and cool inside here at Dyken Park, and lots of beverages and refreshments to keep you cool as well. You can come, you can see all of the cars on the concourse. You can, if you're GA, you can sit in the bowl and just admire all the cars on the field.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. So there you go. All-Star Car Show, one of a kind. It never been done before, but guess what? The Astros were the ones to do it, hitting it out of the park as always. Come on down and have a good time. Ruben Dominguez, Fox 26 News.
time to track the tropics. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade, and we are going to have to talk about what we could experience for the month of August. We are now officially into the third month of the Atlantic Basin hurricane season, and it's been fairly quiet. We've had 3 tropical storms, no hurricanes just yet, but I want to hop over to the Pacific, the Eastern Pacific and the Central Pacific, where we've had numerous disturbances, tropical storms, and even hurricanes. So it's the tale of one active basin and one that's not been that active. But as far as the Pacific is concerned, we still have Tropical Storm Iona. It is now pushing farther and farther west away from the Hawaiian Islands, so that one will likely kind of start to fall apart over the next few days. And then we've got Tropical Storm Gil still in the Eastern Pacific. This one could get a little stronger, but it is moving away from Mexico, so not expecting it to have any major impacts to any land areas right now. Here's a closer view of Tropical Storm Iona. Notice as it pushes into some much cooler water by Saturday and Sunday, it is really starting to fall apart down to a depression and then eventually a remnant low, with those winds dipping to 35 miles per hour and even lower after that. Tropical Storm Gil is still fairly healthy at this point. Still on the stronger side, maximum sustained winds around 70 miles per hour. And we've got the hurricane potential for Saturday morning. In fact, by 1 a.m. Saturday, it is expected to become a Category 1 hurricane before it weakens back to a strong tropical storm by Saturday afternoon. So overall, we're talking about a very active Eastern and Central Pacific. We've got Iona, we've got Gil, and now we have another system with an 80% high chance for development off of the southwestern Mexican coast. So this one likely will miss Mexico, as it is expected to travel to the northwest, but it's yet another system that we will likely have developing over the next 2 to 7 days across the Eastern Pacific. As if that weren't enough, we've got another system, and this one is expected to develop a little bit closer to southern Mexico. So it is going to be moving away from Mexico, but since it is developing closer to the coast, it is likely going to have a better chance to produce some heavy downpours. So you can see basically just the train of tropical storms rolling to the west across the Pacific. We are going to have the potential for a lot of action here, but fortunately for the Atlantic Basin, things have been fairly quiet. The number one reason we've had a lot of Saharan dust getting kicked up out there across the Atlantic Ocean. It comes off of the west coast of Africa, travels several thousand miles all across the Atlantic, and we even end up getting some of that hazy, dusty air right here in Houston a couple of times during the season. So here is what is expected to happen as we get into the second, third week of August. A lot of that dust kind of starts to thin out and go away. So that is going to mean a bigger window for these tropical systems to develop. That dusty air is dry air, and it kind of helps to limit tropical development. But when you get rid of that dust, we're going to likely start to see more of these tropical waves have a higher chance of survival coming off the west coast of Africa and traveling across the Atlantic, and they could potentially get close to the Caribbean islands, maybe the east coast of the U.S., and possibly into the Caribbean or the Gulf. So nothing at this point that looks too concerning for the next 5 to 7 days. But of course, as we get closer to the middle of August, we will be keeping a close eye on things. Colorado State University meteorologists still thinking about 8 hurricanes for this season. So far, we've had a big goose egg, 0, but we do still have the potential for things to heat up quickly as we go through the next few months. Average number of hurricanes will be 7, and of course, we've had 3 tropical storms so far this season, and that number likely will go up as well. So we're still waiting for Dexter. We've been waiting for Tropical Storm or Hurricane Dexter for a while, and we'll have to continue to wait. Hopefully nothing will be brewing soon. I think for at least the next week we're quiet, but we are starting to see ingredients likely coming together for a higher chance for tropical systems over the next few weeks. Water temps are still super steamy and toasty across much of the Gulf, the Western Atlantic, the Caribbean. And like I said, we're getting rid of that dust, so we are expecting the systems to have a better chance to pop up on us. So we are going to continue to monitor things closely. Of course, the peak of hurricane season usually right around the month of September. As we get into mid and late August, things will pick up. But September is usually the month where we have maybe several systems developing out there all at once. So keep checking back. Of course, we'll update you daily on what's happening out there in the tropics. And if anything is trouble for us, you will be the first to know. More Texas Live and Local when we return.
Welcome back to Texas Live and Local. So right now, we're going over to State House lawmakers in Austin who are spending this Friday debating redistricting. Governor Abbott wants new maps approved during this special session. A hearing is being held in Austin. Let's go live right now to the Capitol.
By Black and Hispanic Texans for Republicans. Black support more than doubled. A majority of Texas Hispanics voted Republican for president, but historic lines did not allow for that to translate into the congressional districts and their representation. And that is at this important time in history, Texas must do everything we can, and this bill is an important step. And I'll say that as the first Black mayor elected to the city of Denton. So if I just went on and said, hey, it's never been done, it can't be done, then that wouldn't be the case. You get out, you connect with people, and you tell your story, they connect, and it resonates with people. That's been my lived experience there in the city of Denton.
Thank you for your testimony, Mayor. Chair calls Savant Moore. Shall you register to testify as Savant Moore on behalf of yourself against House Bill 4? Is that correct?
Yes.
Please give us your testimony.
Chairman and members of the committee, my name is Savant Moore. I'm a father, a community leader, a preacher, and a proud Texan who's watched his district get turned too much. This new proposed map doesn't just redraw lines, it erases lives, connections, and representation. For a year and a half, my community has no congressperson. Now, instead of restoring what was taken, you're giving us a completely different district. Turn too much. How did we go from Congressional District 18, where I live 1 block from Sheila Jackson Lee's office, to CD 29? That's not representation, that's manipulation. Chairman, you sponsored the 10 Commandments being put in our schools. So let me ask you plainly, preacher to preacher, how does this committee justify breaking one of those very commandments? Thou shalt not steal. Because what you've done is steal. You've stolen my district. You already stole my school district. You've stolen our congressional voice. You've stolen the community's connection to his own future. And just like the rich man who looked up and saw Lazarus in the bosom of Abraham, I pray you don't have to look back on this and wish you had warned your brothers. You have an opportunity right now to tell them this is wrong. It's not just about lines on a map. It's about the people who live within them. And we're not invisible. We vote, we pray, we serve, and we demand to be seen and respected. My congressional district should not be different. And as an 11 Bravo former Ranger, I should not come back to America and have to fight for representation in Texas. And if you are truly a Christian, today, don't stop at 10 hours. Let all the hundreds of people that are waiting stay to 3 o'clock. Yes, you only make $13 an hour, but we are privileged to be here. And happy birthday to my mother. She turned 79 today, and I'm missing it because I came here to talk to you. God bless you, and God bless Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. We wish your mother a happy birthday. Chair calls Judge Scott Felton. Shall you register to testify as Judge Scott Felton on behalf of yourself for House Bill 4? Is that correct?
That is correct. Thank you.
And we had on your registration here, I've never seen something like this before. It says self and self, but you're not testifying twice. Can we modify that to make it to where it's just one self?
Please.
Okay. All right, Judge, you're recognized. Please give us your testimony.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Scott Felton. I'm the McLennan County Judge. In McLennan County, Waco is our county seat. I'm not sure whether we're a large small county or a large small county, but we county judge in a county my size has to do many things, and one of them is work for betterment of economic development. We have a partnership between the City of Waco, McLennan County, and Waco Industrial Foundation to create an environment for good industries to come into our community that pay high wages and provide good jobs and a good tax base growth. We put in a lot of key things to give us a competitive advantage, including water and workforce development being a couple of them. The third advantage we have is the popularity of Texas being a great place to work and live. We take that and we work and try to make McLennan County even better than that. And so in our efforts to call on industry to come into our community, we go to where the best source of folks that want to leave where they are to come here, which is West Coast and East Coast. I've made numerous trips to California and met with companies there that were either wanting to move out of California or expand and did not want to expand in areas of a more liberal state or liberal communities. And so we provide a good place for them in that regard. So appreciate the time that you all have here. I encourage you to expand the amount of conservative living in our community and take every advantage to jump on that when you can. Thank you very much.
Your testimony, Judge. Chair calls Key West. Is Key West here? Chair calls Key West. Chair will show Key West registered to testify on behalf of himself against House Bill 4, herself, thank you for the correction, herself, but not testifying against House Bill 4. Okay. Members, any questions for the members of this panel? Here none. Thank you all for coming here today. Mr. Moore, go call your mom. Tell her happy birthday. Panel's excused. Chair's going to call up our next panel, Carl Jones, Brian Anthony Chase, John Carr, and Christopher DeCloyd. If you could make your way up to those first 4 seats there. The next panel after that, if you hear your name, please make your way to the room. Amanda McLaughlin, Rachel Preston, Julie Greenewalt, and Brian Mueckett. M-U-E-C-K-E.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chase, I'm going to call you first. Under our rules, in Rule 4, Section 20F, the committee shall inform a witness who is visually impaired which members of the committee are present. The chair will inform you that Chair Vasut is present, Representative Hefner is present, Representative Metcalf, Representative Guerra, Representative Hunter, Vice Chair Rosenthal, Representative Thompson, Representative Barbara Gervin-Hawkins, Representative Hicklin, Representative McQueenie, Representative Tepper, Representative Spiller, Representative Wilson, and Representative Pearson. Those members of the committee are present. While not required by the rules, I'm going to let you know that on the dais as well are Representative Curry, Representative Simmons, Representative Hinojosa, and Representative Flores. Members of the committee, have I missed anyone? Thank you. Mr. Chase, I'm going to call you to testify first. And members, if I could have you just stay in your seats. If you get up, I need to let Mr. Chase know, and I will do so. I show you registered to testify as Brian Anthony Chase, Jr. on behalf of yourself against House Bill 4. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct.
Please give us your testimony.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to be informed of who is all in the room and taking sensitivity for me being a blind individual. All right, going forward, I'm going to go and testify. My name is Brian Anthony Chase, Jr. I am a resident of Austin, Texas, and overall 27-year resident of the state of Texas, living in Amarillo, San Antonio, and Austin, Texas. I testify against this measure because the sheer fact that this redistricting goes against the spirit of Texas individualism. This was not organically called upon from the direct constituents of the state of Texas, but from the administration of President Donald Trump, as sent from a letter from the Department of Justice, relayed from the governor, from the lieutenant governor, to the House of Representatives and the state Senate. With that, I would have to say this measure is disingenuous, as the majority of constituents did not.
You have been listening to State House lawmakers in Austin spending this Friday debating redistricting as Governor Abbott wants new maps approved during this special session. We're going to move on now to Houston Restaurant Weeks, which officially kicks off on today. It's one of our favorite times of the year where you can dine out and do good. Right now I have Katie Stone with me. She is with the Cleverly Stone Foundation, along with Juan Soto from Soto's Cantina, who is participating for the very first time. Welcome, both of you. And delicioso. It smells good.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Katie, how many years are we talking now?
My goodness, 22nd year, Coco. Can you believe it?
22nd year. All right. So tell me a little bit about how things started, and we can get through it kind of quickly. Cleverly Stone, your mother had a vision, the original foodie influencer everywhere.
Yeah, the original foodie broadcaster. You know, she started it because this is the slowest time of the year for restaurants historically, not just in Houston, but nationwide. And she was tired of seeing her friends laid off. And so she said, let's do something that can keep people working and also support our community. Long story short, Coco, you know, you were there the whole way, too. The event grew into the largest annual fundraiser for the Houston Food Bank. But at the same time, is engineering the busiest month of the year for restaurants. So it is an incredibly special time. It's almost like Christmas in August.
Yes.
For the restaurants, they see so many more new diners than they do the rest of the year because they're offering these incredibly valuable prix menus that's also feeding our community at the same time. So it's a win-win-win.
Over 400 restaurants?
About 375 restaurants this year.
So if you go to our on our website, we have a link to theirs, but really you can look by neighborhood, you can look by cuisine, lunch, brunch, dinner. We've got Juan Soto here from Soto's Cantina.
Hello.
You
Hi.
guys are serving up dinner.
We do, yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Juan Soto. I'm proudly representing my restaurant, Soto's Cantina.
What type of food is that?
This is Mexican, authentic. We actually combine Tex-Mex and authentic.
Authentic Mexican food.
Yes.
Okay, so you're doing a 3-course menu. Give us some ideas of some of the things that are going to be on the 3-course menu. Let's start with the appetizer.
Definitely. We have, because of the weather and the Houston area, we come up with some shrimp mango ceviche. And then we have outside fire steak. We call it summer steak. It's a steak with grilled pineapple steaks and cilantro chimichurri sauce.
Wow.
And then we come up with passion fruit flan.
Passion fruit flan, and is that a tres leches?
And definitely tres leches too. You got a choice between passion fruit flan and tres leches.
Okay, and so I was watching you guys put all of this. You also have some tacos right here. Tell me about those.
We do. We have steak tacos, and we also have cochinita pibil, which is Yucatan style meat, and blue corn tortillas.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so the drinks are not included in the prefix menu.
But you have to try it, though, because they're famous for their avocado margarita.
Guys, did y'all hear what she said? This is an avocado margarita.
Never heard of it before.
I've never. So tell me a little bit about it while I indulge.
Well, we actually use fresh avocado in it. Blend with the regular ingredients for a margarita.
Is it good?
And you can actually taste the avocado and the margarita.
You can.
And,
this works.
And you can say that's a healthy drink.
It is definitely. Wow, this is amazing. I've never thought about it. Avocado. I don't drink much tequila anymore, but this is amazing. So, what is this one right here?
And then we have passion fruit margaritas where we use actually real passion fruit.
I see that.
And then we have pineapple and watermelon jalapeno, and they all are made with fine ingredients, fresh ingredients, real ingredients.
I love it. And where are you located?
We're on the northwest area, and this is called Cypress Wood and 249.
Okay.
And also in the Jersey Village area, North Eldridge and West Little York.
Are those two separate ones?
Yes, we have 2 locations. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. And so, what does it mean for you to be able to provide what you know, your best foot forward, and then to be able to help out the Houston Food Bank to make sure people in the area are eating?
Well, I'm definitely very excited to be invited to participate, to be allowed to participate. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
And I guess get people to know our restaurants and being able to expose all our dishes. Apparently, we're popular in the area, and I guess we try to grow a little more.
You're selling yourself short. You won some pretty important awards recently.
All right, give them to me real quick. We got a few more seconds. Which awards did he win?
Which awards did you win? You won Best New Tex-Mex?
When we first opened, we were 3 times top 100 restaurants chosen by the Houston Chronicle. And then we achieved the best margarita, Texas best margarita.
I see that. I see that. Right. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Juan Soto. I know we're running out of time here, but you can catch them on the Houston Restaurant Week's menu. We've got a link on our website. Thank you so much. Enjoy, and I'm going to enjoy this right here. All right, let's go move right into the weekend with some smooth Friday tunes. Today, the Gray Scott Band, who stopped by our Austin station to play for Fox Local. Take a listen.
me something to believe in. I never had another reason. Alright, I said I've been around, I've been down, nothing ever changed my mind. Something to believe in. You give me something to believe in. Can nobody do it like you do? Got a man sitting here feeling free. No, just that every single part of me has a open and I was living in a fantasy. Said I'm ready to try it, and it keep providing. Know you're really down for me, yeah. But you know I'm trouble. You give me something to believe in. I never had another reason. Alright, I said I've been around, I've been around, nothing ever changed my mind, my mind. Something to believe in. You give me something to believe in. Come on. Baby, baby, what you done to me? It's like nothing I have known. Can't describe what you mean to me. Everybody needs a hug. You give me something to believe in. I never had another reason. Said I've been around, I've been around, nothing ever changing my mind. Said I'm in late try, yeah, and you keep right, yeah. You give me something to believe in. I never had another reason. You give
Welcome back to Texas Live and Local. We're talking to Dutch Brothers now with locations all across the state. They're teaming up with customers in hopes of raising money for Special Olympics Texas. It's a one-day event to order drinks. You can go and order the drinks. Here now we've got Reese Waller with Dutch Brothers along with Casey Flax with the Special Olympics Texas and Greg Parker, the athlete with the amazing medal. Welcome to Texas Live and Local.
Thank you so much for having us.
You are so welcome. So tell me a little bit about what the campaign is with Dutch Brothers.
Yeah, so what we are working on today is we are donating $1 from every drink sold at all 223 Texas Dutch Bros locations, and that is going to go through the Dutch Bros Foundation straight to Special Olympics Texas.
All right, and tell us a little bit about Special Olympics Texas.
Well, Special Olympics, it's for athletes that have special needs where they can compete in all kinds of sporting events, you know, like bowling, basketball, swimming, track and field. There's just all different types of events that they can do, and we don't judge people, you know, we all are equally the same. That's
everyone.
what everyone, even the coaches and everybody that works, volunteers, everybody, they don't judge us, they treat us equal like human beings.
I bet that's such a special place. What specific sports do you participate in?
I do, right now, I do swimming and bowling only. I used to play basketball, but I can't anymore. Yeah.
Most of us can't play basketball anymore.
No, but I do really good in swimming now. I've been with the Dad's Club Mavericks team for about 5 years now.
Wow, so you are a super athlete. So where did you get that medal?
This is one of my very first medals I ever won back when I lived in Missouri. It was back in 1980 when I won this.
Oh, so you've been a long time Olympian here. All right, Casey, tell us a little bit about what that means to be able to provide this for the athletes that want that, like they want to compete as well.
Oh yeah, no, we're living the dream. Something really cool about Special Olympics is it's for all ages. We start at age 8 for competition, and there's no age limit. Everyone competes. You earn your medal. It's sports just like the rest of the world loves.
Absolutely. And so how much training do you do up to the Special Olympics?
Besides Special Olympics, I do my own training. I go to the LA Fitness, and I train at least probably 3 days out of a week.
Wow.
And then besides practice on Sundays, so basically I'm in the water at least 4 days a week.
That's amazing. I can see why you're a winner. All right, Dutch Brothers, tell us how much, where they can get these at, and how long are they going to be able to buy these for that?
Yeah, so for the rest of the day at all 223 of our locations, we are running this Special Olympics promo. So we are open until 11 p.m. this evening. So make sure to run by and get you either a mudslide mocha.
Show us what is that?
So we got our mudslide mocha up front. It's Irish cream and dark chocolate mocha with our special chocolate milk. Super delicious. We also have our Blue Oasis Fizz over here, blue raspberry and passion fruit together with our strawberry fruit on top. Super delicious, super refreshing for those hot Texas days. But yeah, we will be serving up at all of our locations for the rest of the day.
Okay, and when is the Special Olympics?
When isn't it? We have competitions
it's all
and
the
everything.
time.
It's year-round. Yep,
Okay,
year-round
well that is amazing. Well, good luck to you. I hope you win lots more medals.
Oh yeah, we got swim meets coming up soon.
He's like, I'm taking over. I'm
Ready to
taking the
go.
gold. All right, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Make sure you stop by Dutch Brothers and show some love. I mean, you said $1 goes through to the Special Olympics, right?
$1 from every drink is going to go through the Dutch Bros Foundation straight to the Special Olympics.
All right, well, we could make a big difference. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I hope you do as well. Happy Friday. Stay tuned. Fox 26 News at 5 starts next.
Fox 26 News at 5 starts now.
Today on Fox 26 News at 5, our rain chances are ramping up as we head into the weekend. Your Gulf Coast Weather Authority is tracking the timing. Plus, the Harris County Sheriff's Office has released video of a scuffle involving an inmate and detention officers. That inmate later died. And a new report shows the job market slowed in July. But a tight employment market is not the only issue job seekers face. Fox 26 News at 5 starts right now.
Well, good evening to you. I'm Caroline Collins in the Weather Center alongside meteorologist Ramisha Shade. And the big topic of conversation is our increasing chance for rain as we approach the weekend.
Well, Caroline, we don't want anything too crazy. Like I said, I like to get the heavy rain potential in and out before the weekend. Not happening this time. But I do think there will still be periods where you can take a dip in the pool, go to the park, go to the beach, but just be prepared for heavy downpours as well.
Oh, man. All right. You got to follow her. Be on the lookout, Fox 26.
I've got you covered. Let's talk about what's happening right now with our Fox Red Radar. Not a ton of action at this point. We've had a few downpours, but nothing super crazy just yet. I do want to give you a closer view of where we do have a little bit of heavy rain coming down, and that's going to be up around Onalaska, Livingston, Goodrich, Corrigan, few lightning strikes, heavy downpours, and some teeny tiny showers around Ganado, El Campo, and Wharton. For H-Town, it's all about the heat right now. We are missing out on the rain, but things will likely change as we head into the weekend. Why? Well, this is our next big weather maker. This front has camped out to our north and is going to stay close to the area for Saturday and for Sunday. So we may not have a lot of rain action now, but that front will act as a trigger for more showers and storms, especially for tomorrow. So this is our Saturday setup. Grab the umbrellas before you head out to enjoy your Saturday. We've got moisture around this stationary front, and that will aid in more widespread showers and storms. We're not looking at a super huge flood risk, but we are going to be in that low marginal street flooding threat through early tonight, and we're going to repeat that for tomorrow as well. So we're monitoring the risk for heavy rain. Just bottom line, be prepared for still some heat, but a better shot for those disruptive downpours for your weekend plans.
All right, Ramisha, thank you. Well, tonight, a family's plea for justice as the search continues for the driver who killed a Houston couple in a hit-and-run crash last month.
While deputies investigate, Crime Stoppers is now offering a reward for information in this case. Fox 26's Jillian Hartman live for us outside of Crime Stoppers Houston. She spoke with the mother of one of the victims who's pushing for answers. Jillian.
Yeah, it's been exactly a month since a local couple was tragically killed in a hit and run, and so far there have been no arrests. Now Crime Stoppers and the Sheriff's Office are offering a $5,000 reward for information that can help solve this case, and the victims' families are now desperate to find the driver.
I'm not at peace, and I won't be at peace until they found who did this.
The families of Crystal Calvillo and Daniel Perez are pushing for justice. On July 1st, Calvillo and Perez were riding their bikes along Veterans Memorial Drive in northwest Harris County just before 11 p.m. when Perez was hit by a car. Deputies say the driver stayed on scene, but when Calvillo rushed over to help Perez, a second car hit them and they both died. The second car never stopped.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I didn't want to believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was such a shock to me, to all the family.
Crystal's mother says a part of her is missing with her daughter gone.
I'm never going to be the same without my daughter. You know, and now the kids have to grow up without a mom because of somebody's actions. Crystal was a very loving, very caring. She was a good mom. She loved her kids. And it just, when this happened and how it happened, it just doesn't surprise me that she went out there to help Daniel. And I just can't believe somebody would just hit them and leave without even stopping and rendering help. So it's been very hard.
Crime Stoppers and the Harris County Sheriff's Office are offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest or charges. Crystal's mother is also asking for the public's help.
My plea is for the public to come forward. If they know anything about the accident or if they've seen anything, I need to find out who did this. so I could have some type of closure and get justice for Daniel and for Crystal. They deserve that.
Now, the Sheriff's Office just confirmed with us details about the second car involved in the hit and run. They're looking for a 2015 to 2019 Subaru Outback, dark color and damage to the driver's left side and center. Anyone with information on this case, call Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. Now, I also learned that the driver of the first car remained on scene and has cooperated with authorities and is not facing charges at this time. Reporting live, I'm Jillian Hartman, Fox 26 News.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office has released video related to the death of a jail inmate who was being released. Back on July 8th, 32-year-old Alexis Cardenas was released from custody. Investigators say he was being walked to an exit door when he refused to leave and got into a physical fight with detention officers. One of the officers used his taser on Cardenas. The Sheriff's Office says at one point Cardenas made it back into a secure area of the jail. Multiple officers then gained control of him. They noticed that he was unresponsive. He was taken to a hospital where he later died.
In 9 years that I've been sheriff here, I've never had a situation where somebody had already exited or was on the verge of literally exiting the door when they wanted to come back in for whatever reason.
The Texas Rangers are still investigating. We do know that one sergeant and 6 detention officers have been temporarily reassigned to duties that do not involve direct contact with inmates. Bond has been set at $500,000 for a man accused of shooting and killing someone outside of a Southeast Houston business. Omar Marzouk appeared in court overnight on a murder charge. Police say Marzouk shot and killed Jimmy Arevalo. Investigators say Arevalo was power washing equipment outside after midnight on Wednesday on Calumet Street. According to court documents, Marzouk complained about the noise Arevalo was making before shooting him.
Well, Houston police have arrested a man accused of stabbing another man to death nearly 2 months ago. 24-year-old Clodith McGee is charged with murder and tampering with evidence. Police say that back on June 5th, McGee stabbed 30-year-old Samuel Giddy at an apartment complex on Hillcroft in southwest Houston. The motive for that stabbing is still unknown. And today was supposed to be Tariff Day, when new tariffs were supposed to kick in for U.S. trading partners, but President Trump has rolled back the implementation of most of them until August 7th. There are some exceptions. Mexico has another 90-day delay, and Canada's hike went into effect today, going from 25% to 35% on products not covered by a trade deal from Trump's first term.
Today's Labor Department report that 73,000 jobs were created in July was actually fewer than expected, as these numbers for May and June were also revised down significantly.
Well, for those looking for work, Fox 26 business reporter Tom Ziska says a tight job market is not the only challenge they're facing.
Caroline Rasha, you've either had the experience or you've heard it from someone else who's applied for a bunch of jobs, maybe hundreds of jobs, and they've heard nothing. Truth is, there's often a computer program or artificial intelligence that decides in an instant whether you get more than a passing look. There's also a way to improve your odds.
I have gone through short periods of time in the past where I've been out of work, but it's never been this long, and it's never been this completely silent.
Kingwood resident Kelly Osakovsky was laid off from her administrative assistant job in March, and she has been pounding the pavement ever since with no luck. She says she has found fewer job openings, lower pay scales, and frustration that a computer is deciding whether she's worthy.
I've been doing this for a long time. I understand the rules of the game, but it's frustrating when you take all those steps and then you realize there's no person on the other side reading any of this anyway.
You really have to know how to apply.
Julia Bellock is a resume expert with the online service Kick Resume. She says employers are increasingly using so-called applicant tracking system software, or ATS, to weed through the initial crush of applicants to decide which ones are worth consideration for a human recruiter. If the software doesn't like what it sees, the application gets tossed in the proverbial trash. But there are some things you can do to improve your odds against an ATS screening. And it may sound like a no-brainer for some people, but it begins with customizing your resume for each application you file. By that, I mean each job posting lists specific requirements it wants from the successful applicant. So if you've done that job or you've got that skill, then say so in your resume. Using a natural way to insert those key words into the language of your resume, the ATS can pick up on that. Also, avoid abbreviations, whether it's a job title, it's a certification, or whatever. ATS doesn't read abbreviations. It reads full words, so make sure the full words are there. And then when you submit your resume, use a standard Word document or a readable PDF using standard readable fonts as well.
It's making it easier for companies to find, to sort, and hire the right people. So that's important. It's finding the right match. So it's not just like getting rid of the really bad ones, but also ranking the really good ones.
And a cautionary tale about inserting those keywords in your resume. Don't go overboard with it. The ATS screening can also dock you for that as well. If you're unsure, and it's understandable, there are a number of services like Kick Resume that will check your resume for free to see if it fits. And if you want more help, there's also typically a subscription for more intense work to help you get a job. Good luck. Tom Ziska, Fox 26 News.
Thank you, Tom. And there's fallout related to today's job report. The president has fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. He alleges that the numbers were manipulated for political reasons because Director Erica McAnterfer was appointed by former President Joe Biden.
Well, a 2026 Senate race is already heating up. We'll tell you about the state where a Democrat is trying to flip a Republican seat. And Houston ISD is opening an 8th Sunrise Center to offer a number of services to families.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored, weeknights at 10:30 on Fox 26 and streaming on Fox Local.
A key U.S. Senate race is already taking shape. It's a rare chance for Democrats to flip a Republican seat in the 2026 midterms.
Fox's Sarah Allegre reports on the race in North Carolina that could shift the power in Washington.
Millions in donor cash and a Senate seat that could tip the balance in 2026. Why? GOP Senator Tom Tillis is retiring, leaving a critical seat up for grabs.
I am running to be the next senator from the great state of North Carolina.
Now in the spotlight, RNC Chair Michael Whatley launching his bid just a week after a nudge from President Trump.
And North Carolina deserves a strong conservative voice in the Senate.
If Whatley wins the primaries in March, he could face former two-term Governor Roy Cooper. He's a Democrat's most high-profile Senate recruit so far, and a state Trump narrowly carried in 2020 and 2024.
If Democrats were to pick up 4 seats in the Senate, a net of 4 seats, they would become the majority party.
Political expert John Dinan suggests beating Cooper won't be easy. He's won 6 statewide elections and raised a record-breaking $3 million a day after launching his campaign on X.
I want to serve as your next United States Senator.
But Whatley is already on a fence, slamming Cooper's record, including his response to Hurricane Helene.
We're going to call him out for what he has done as a legislator and as the Attorney General and the governor.
Meanwhile, Cooper blames Republicans for economic strains.
Ripping away health care from millions of people, all to give tax breaks to the millionaires and the billionaires, and it's not right.
And even with Mr. Trump off the ballot next year, Dinan says the election will act as a referendum on his presidency.
People thinking about politics still want to express their views of Donald Trump, and they will cast their votes for Senate and other congressional offices in line with that.
And that was Sarah Allegre reporting. The Senate currently has 53 Republicans and 47 senators who caucus with the Democrats.
Well, the Salvation Army is getting a big boost to prepare for disaster. Today, the Centerpoint Energy Foundation pledged to give the group $1 million over the next 5 years. The grant will help fund operations at the Salvation Army's multi-purpose distribution center in Houston, which serves as a station for coordinating emergency relief efforts across the region.
That is what our communities deserve. Our communities come here to live their best lives. We have such a vibrant opportunity here in Houston with only growing possibilities, but it all starts with making sure we take care of each other so that this is a place we all want to live.
Well, the money will be used for things like emergency food supplies, water, and hygiene kits. Well, it is definitely hot and steamy, and we have some chances of rain on the way.
Yeah, it could get a little dicey, a little turbulent over the weekend. Right now, not looking like a huge, severe threat, but yes, heavy downpours could lead to downpours among downpours.
Oh.
Upon more downpours.
Oh, boy.
So, downpours. More downpours.
That's the thing. Okay. So get ready. Bring your umbrella.
Yes,
watch the weather.
For some heavy rain. Yeah, we're not expecting it to last all weekend long, but the reason I said downpours amongst more downpours is because we have a stalled front. So that's going to act as a trigger for more rain, and it's going to keep bringing waves of rain for the weekend. I think the majority of it likely coming Saturday afternoon and evening and Sunday afternoon and evening. So you can see the front already camped out to our north. Of course, we don't have a lot of rain out there right now, so that's why temps are still close to triple digits in H-Town, 96 degrees. But as this front tries to sink a little bit closer tomorrow, that will mean a better chance for some rain. So even for your plans this evening, you may briefly have to use the umbrellas, the rain jackets, so make sure that you have them with you just in case. So that front stalls near the area and brings a low flood risk for this weekend. We are going to need the umbrellas at times for your weekend plans, and it is still going to be hot, but at least we've gotten rid of the triple digit heat, at least for the actual temperature. Feels like temp, a different story. Right now, just a few downpours showing up around Onalaska, Livingston, and over towards Cold Spring, and then close to the coast, we've got a little bit of rain near El Campo and Wharton and Ganado. That's about it. However, as we go into tomorrow, I do think we will start to see more action on our Fox Rad radar. Temperatures in the middle 90s right now for Houston. That feels like temp right around 106. So that is close to the danger zone. So without a lot of rain out there right now, it is still uncomfortable, oppressive, dangerous heat. So please be careful as you try to enjoy your Friday afternoon and evening outside. Our Fox weather model still showing the potential for one of these heavy downpours getting close to maybe Sugar Land, Pearland, Houston, Katy, and up towards the Woodlands this evening, quickly coming to an end by 11 p.m. tonight. But this is what I want to show you for the weekend. Look at all of the heavy rain. This particular model is blowing up over us right around 5, 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow. So that's why I'm thinking we do have a much better chance for those more widespread showers and storms. So that's why we could have a few flooded streets to impact some of your weekend plans. Not as much rain showing up for 4 o'clock on Sunday, but still the chance will be in the decent category. So just keep the rain gear close by. There will be some on again, off again downpours for the weekend. Of course, today kicks off day 1 of a month-long Houston Restaurant Weeks. A lot of restaurants participating, great food, great specials, maybe a stray downpour for you to deal with if you're heading out to that 7 o'clock. It is going to be still in the low 90s and temperatures likely in the middle 80s as we head towards 10 to 11 p.m. So there is the 60% rain and storm chance for Saturday, 40% for Sunday, and next week we are lowering the rain chances but cranking up the heat once again.
Well, what do you think about when planning a vacation? There's a new survey that reveals what young adults are looking for when they travel. How do you pick your vacation spot? Well, a recent survey found Gen Z travelers plan their vacations based on visuals and not activities. Nearly 2/3 of participants said they plan vacations based on how dateable people look in photos. They also consider how aesthetically pleasing the location may look in photos. So overall, 60% of Americans say they'd choose a more expensive location if it looked impressive in photos.
You know, I think they have this all wrong. I think sometimes you got to go with where the best food is. At least that's what I do sometimes. I'm like, ooh, like that city, or, you know, when I was going to Italy, of course, I'd always wanted to go there, but I was like, the food.
Yes, yeah.
So I think they're leaving that important point out.
Well, I see how with the, you know, craze about social media, they're really trying to get a picture that it's going to do well.
I know. I said most destinations that you vacation to are pretty anyway, whether you're standing in front of the Eiffel Tower or just like some palm trees on a beautiful beach.
Yes, exactly. Or a pond.
You know, wherever, here in H-Town,
yes,
okay?
Exactly.
Well, imagine trying to capture your dream proposal in Greece when all of a sudden the couple gets down on one knee, the guy there, and then these tourists end up walking right in front of the camera. They can appear to be completely unaware of the beautiful moment happening behind them. So, do you think that the newly engaged couple would be a little upset? Well, it was quite the opposite. They hope that everyone can help them track down this couple who walked on into their engagement photos so they can actually send them an invitation to their wedding. At least I got the beginning part.
Yes. And I mean, this is now a lot bigger than they had expected. Like, our proposal video went viral across the world.
You know, and props to the groom, though, for taking it into his own hands. He obviously set that camera up and pressed record and made sure he was standing in the right spot.
And she didn't know?
She didn't know, and too bad the tourist walked right in front of the shot. But
yeah,
it's all good. It's a memory that
will last a lifetime.
I was going to say last on the internet forever.
Yeah. That's true, too.
Well, lower drug prices could be coming by the end of September thanks to a new push by the Trump administration. That's all coming up next. And we introduced you to a special graduate born just 1 pound. She is now celebrating a big milestone. So are you struggling to keep up with your prescription drug payments? You are not alone, and now the White House is promising to take immediate action to bring those prices down.
Fox's Madeline Rivera walks us through the new plan to make prescriptions more affordable.
President Trump is making a big push to lower prices on prescription drugs. On Thursday, the president sent letters to the 17 biggest pharmaceutical companies, telling them to deliver immediate pricing relief and sell their drugs to Americans at the same rates they do in other developed nations.
Right now, brand name drugs in the United States are up to 3 times higher on average than anywhere else for the identical medicines.
The letters cite an executive order signed in May that mandates Americans get access to drugs at most favored nation pricing. But the president says he wants to go further and predicted drastic price cuts because he says he's willing to take on big pharma.
We're going to get them down 1,000%, 600%, 500%, 1,500%, numbers that are not even thought to be achievable because I've used a certain talent that I have and convinced the drug companies that you have no choice.
But most of the drug makers say they're already working with the feds to bring down prices, and this type of public admonishment is not helping. Pfizer writing in a statement that the company is, quote, working closely with the Trump administration and Congress on solutions that will increase access and affordability. The White House says this can be a collaborative effort if the drug makers comply with the executive order.
The president expects to further engage with them immediately in good faith to deliver relief for American families.
The president is asking drug makers to start lowering prices by the end of September. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Well, President Trump says he has ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be, quote, positioned in the appropriate regions. This is following statements made by former Russian president. Earlier this week, Dmitry Medvedev said that the U.S. deadline for Russia to end the conflict is an additional step toward war. President Trump has set an August 8th deadline for Russia to agree to a peace deal or face new economic consequences.
With just weeks to go until the school year, public health officials are urging parents to get their children vaccinated. But as the country sees its worst year for measles in decades, vaccination rates are once again declining. According to federal health data, 92.5% of kindergartners received their required measles, mumps, and rubella shots last school year. That's down about 0.2% from the year before.
This threatens the safety of our children. It threatens them actually getting measles and the complications of measles, which can be encephalitis, which is a brain infection.
Well, health officials blame the declining rates in part on vaccine hesitancy and online misinformation during the COVID pandemic. Before then, the vaccination rate was about 95%, the level needed to protect communities against outbreaks.
Houston ISD getting ready to launch its 8th Sunrise Center. The newest one will be at the Marion Park Community Center on South Gessner. Sunrise Centers offer a support system for families with a wide range of services, and among them, food, mental health support, and after-school programs.
The way that people access the Sunrise Centers 2 ways, right? So the first way is walking in off the street. So if you're here in this community and you feel like you need help, you are welcomed to walk in here. The other way is for our families to fill out a student aid form. Those things they're called SAFs a lot of times. And so if you're a student in a school or a parent and you have a need, you can fill out a SAF and come here.
The first day of school in HISD is August 12th. 1,000 Houston area students have brand new backpacks and school supplies to start the school year. The Gonzalez Law Group held a drive-by giveaway this morning. The firm partnered with other groups to raise more than $30,000 that were used to purchase the school supplies.
Well, today, the Texas House is holding its first public hearing on redistricting since a draft of its new congressional map was released. Fox 26 morning anchor Lena DeFlorias explores how redrawing congressional districts work.
Is President Trump trying to bury your vote? And are Democratic states trying to do the exact same thing?
Are you calling then for a complete redrawing of the congressional map ahead of next year? Just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
These 9 states are looking at redistricting. That's going to affect you, even if you don't live in one of these states. Republican, Democrat, everyone is affected by Redistricting. Redistricting is when a state redraws its congressional map. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you live, how you vote. You live in one congressional district and you have one person representing you in the U.S. House. There are 435 representatives in the House from Hawaii to Maine, and one of them represents you. Congressional districts are based on population, and they try to have an even population in each district. And that's why congressional maps look like this instead of this. Every 10 years, we fill out the census, and that's how the states know their population and how many people live where. And then they redraw or redistrict based on those population changes. Sometimes a state will either gain or lose a seat or multiple seats based on population. Totally valid. But here we are in 2025 redistricting with no new census, no new certified population changes, which does happen sometimes because this is more of a state thing than a federal thing, and the states do their own thing when it comes to the redistricting thing. So is your vote getting buried? Let's go to the maps. This district in Texas tends to vote Democrat. This district in California tends to vote Republican. Now, how do you change that? Usually it's one of two ways. One, you get voters to change their minds, or you change who is voting where. If you redraw or redistrict, you can cut a district into a different shape so that it includes the voters that you want because they vote the way you want. Now, if that is your intention, that is gerrymandering, and that is illegal because the redistricting is supposed to be race and party neutral. But is it though? That is the question that has so many people upset. Because if districts are orchestrated to make that district favor one party, the minority party votes are basically being buried. And that vote could be yours. Remember, these districts decide whether Democrats or Republicans control the U.S. House. And that affects you, even if your state's not being redrawn. Hope that helps. I'm Lena, your news anchor bestie. You can follow me if you care about this stuff.
An American automaker is recalling more than 300,000 vehicles. The problem with the braking system that needs to be fixed.
Well, Ford is recalling more than 300,000 vehicles, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
The loss of power brake assist while driving can make it take longer to stop and increase the risk of a crash. The recall affects certain 2025 Lincoln Navigator, F-150, Expedition, Bronco, and Ranger vehicles. Dealers will be making repairs free of charge.
Well, nearly 200,000 kids' play kitchen sets are being pulled after a toddler's death. The brand Backyard Kids says parts of KidCraft farm-to-table model play kitchen sets pose a risk of strangulation and asphyxia. Now, the sets were all sold on KidCraft.com, Amazon, and Walmart. They come from 2018 until last month. We are told that the recall comes after one 23-month-old died when their shirt got caught on one of the hooks back in February of 2023. If you have this play kitchen set, you are asked to immediately stop using it, remove those hooks. You can also contact Backyard Kids for free replacement hooks. Well, the flash flooding threat moves south as millions across the Northeast are cleaning up after deadly storms.
Well, coming up, we're going to take a look at some crazy flash flooding video from parts of the Northeast. Major impacts there over the last 24 hours. We'll talk about our flood threat for this weekend and how that could impact some pretty cool events going on around Houston in just a few.
Coming up on the News Edge Early Edition, the man wanted for the deaths of a husband and wife in Arkansas's Devil's Den was arrested while getting a haircut. We'll show you that video. Plus, the woman who helped Jeffrey Epstein groom and sexually abuse underage girls has been relocated to the Lone Star State. All that and more starts in about 15 minutes on the News Edge Early Edition at 6. I hope to see you there.
So the last thing you want to do is advertise on social media, an activity the city is considering banning. But that is what our Isaiah Carey found out on the streets of Houston. Here's his Factor Uncensored exclusive.
So far, at least 2 people were arrested in downtown Houston after someone posted a downtown Houston takeover with scooters and bikes on social media. This comes as the city is considering banning scooters in downtown Houston. A sergeant with HPD on the scene told me the riders violated the law by gathering at the Toyota Center, trespassing, and how some operated their scooters on public right-of-ways illegally. No word on how many have been or will be taken down on this highly publicized scooter takeover.
Well, you can watch Isaiah Factor Uncensored weeknights at 10:30 on Fox 26 and streaming on Fox Local. Well, after the deadly flash floods took aim at the Northeast, people down south are bracing for wet weather this weekend. As Fox's Tanya J. Powers reports, it's a different situation out west where dry air is fueling multiple wildfires.
Roads across the south beginning to flood as storms threaten the region this weekend. In the Northeast, as many as 6 inches of rain fell Thursday afternoon. Water swamped subway stations in New York City and forced sections of major roads to close.
They fought as long as they could. It was just a terrible thing to see.
The storms turned deadly in Maryland, where officials say a 13-year-old boy died after becoming trapped in a storm drain.
Water was deep. It was about 5 feet deep at the pipe. And as it went back up the hill, of course, it shallowed up, but it spread out for quite a distance, probably 30, 40 feet.
Farther west, dry weather and high winds are fueling a mega fire at the Grand Canyon that's grown strong enough to form fire clouds that can make their own weather. While in Utah, crews are racing to stop flames that have burned more than 55,000 acres.
A lot of emotions. I'm very familiar with that community. We're not a big town. We are rural communities. It does affect us a lot.
And smoke from wildfires burning in Canada has traveled south, threatening air quality in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Health experts are urging caution.
Do you feel palpitations? Are you getting short of breath? If these things are happening, that might indicate that there's an issue going on.
Canadian officials say it's been another devastating year for fires, with more than 15 million acres burned so far. In New York, Tanya J. Powers, Fox 26 News.
All right, you just heard about flooding across parts of the country. I want to show you some pretty incredible video from parts of the Northeast U.S. around the New York City area, and even in Jersey, we had massive flooding. You can see that 18-wheeler there almost submerged in the very deep floodwaters. We had several inches of rain falling, and you can see the subways starting to flood here. And yeah, that is just crazy. I'm sure water rescues galore here. You can see those folks actually being rescued. So it's been a pretty messy situation across the Northeast. You can see that guy there sitting on top of the car waiting to be rescued. We've experienced this type of flooding too many times in H-Town, and it is always scary to see someone having to climb to the top of their vehicle because it's the last resort. They have no way to escape. They just have to hope that rescue crews show up to save them from the floodwaters. So that was happening in the northeastern U.S. yesterday. What about us? Will we have to deal with crazy flooding like that this weekend? Well, that flood risk has shifted to the south. You can see tomorrow there's a 2 out of 4 flood risk down around the southeastern U.S., Georgia, some of the Carolinas, but for Houston, we're going to be in that low 1 out of 4 risk for street flooding. And this has all been kicked off by this front that is kind of stalled out from Texas all the way through the mid-Atlantic. So it's going to continue to bring those waves of rain, and it could be messy for us at times this weekend. Here's one model showing how much rain we will potentially get, and for the next few days it's thinking maybe around an inch or less for most spots. However, I want to point out those darker yellow colors in there. That's where we could have pockets of heavier rain. So we could have 1 or 2 of these storms quickly dump 2, 3, maybe 4 inches of rain. So that will be isolated, but of course that's where we're going to have the threat for some flooding. So lots of cool things going on this weekend. Texans are still in training mode. The training camp open to the public tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. And yes, there will be the chance for downpours, especially if you're going to be out there watching the action for the afternoon. Temps in the low to middle 90s. Also, another cool event going on tomorrow at the Toyota Center. We actually had Ice Cube in the studio for Texas Live and Local today. I got to meet him, and he was telling us about his Big 3 basketball tournament for this Saturday out at the Toyota Center starting at noon. Scattered downpours for that. White Linen Night also going on in the Heights for this weekend. This is Saturday evening. Temperatures starting off near 90 when this event starts around 6 o'clock. Closer to the end of the event at 10. Temperatures likely still in the middle to upper 80s. And yes, there will likely be some downpours that could cause some issues. So keep that in mind. Stormy at times this weekend, but drying out and heating up as we go through much of next week. We'll be right back after the break.
Texas summers are brutal.
For us, near 100 today and tomorrow.
And it's even worse without AC. We're helping 5 Houston area senior citizens cool off. Thanks to our partners, they're getting new air conditioners to battle those triple-digit temps. Watch Heat Wave Heroes next week on Houston's Morning Show and the new HTX at 10 on Fox Local.
But news doesn't stop on weekends.
We're learning more details about a story we first brought you yesterday morning.
And neither do we.
As we head throughout the afternoon, that's when the rain starts moving in from the southwest.
Fox 26 Morning News Weekends with Denise Middleton.
Well, now to a story you'll see only on Fox. The family of a beloved bartender in North.
And meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
Right now, we are seeing some of the heaviest rain start to push off to our
Fox 26 Morning News Weekends, Saturdays and Sundays beginning at 5 a.m. This newscast is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration, Houston's simple one-day hair loss treatment.
A miracle baby defied the odds after being born a micro preemie. She weighed just over a pound and spent almost a year in the hospital, but she got a special graduation ceremony to celebrate when her loving parents finally got to take her home. Fox 26's morning anchor Melissa Wilson speaking with the family.
Look at precious little Ada. She is officially a graduate. You don't see many graduates her age. Tell me about that.
She's about to be a year old. She was born at 22 weeks and 5 days, and she was 1 pound 4 ounces at birth.
She got to graduate from Texas Children's Hospital NICU, where she spent almost a year.
Almost, yes. She did about 5 months at Women's. She was transferred into the end of November, and she graduated from Texas Children's.
Incredible. Yep. How good does it feel to have this beauty at home now?
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. It's a blessing. She is like the light of our life. We can't thank Texas Children's enough for the amount of support and care that the entire staff had given her. She's been through quite a lot, as we all have, and she's just pulled through.
A lot of micro preemies have a laundry list of things that they have to accomplish. With her, it was really just the biggest challenge was her lungs. So she just really couldn't catch up, and she started to regress. We transferred over to Texas Children's to see if a trach was the best option for her. And we are very blessed for that option, and she thrived after that.
How big of a deal is the trach for her to really help her quality of life and to sustain her life?
Yeah, so I tell families all the time, tracheostomy is a medical miracle that allows us to provide respiratory care for kids that we would not be able to do without it. It really allows us to make babies be able to have the life that we want them to. Their whole job as a baby is to grow and develop. And so by doing the tracheostomy, it allows us to continue giving her that vent support, but let her grow and develop and do all the baby things that we want her to do.
So explain what it does and how it helps her.
Yeah, so the tracheostomy is a surgically placed tube that goes right here in her neck into her airway called the trachea. And it's what we call a secure airway. So before that, she had to have a tube in her mouth to breathe. We had to have it taped very securely. We had to have her very carefully watched in the NICU. She could not spend lots of time sitting up or playing. Often her hands had to be down so that she couldn't pull that tube out. And now with this tube here, because it's so secure, she can sit up, she can play, she can do all the normal baby activities, learn to crawl, and eventually learn to walk and do all these fun things with this in place, still receiving the ventilator support that she needs.
How good does it feel to see how far she's come and that you played a role in that?
She looks amazing. I was just telling her parents how happy I am to see her. She's thriving and smiling and playing, and it's just, this is why we do what we do.
We're just blessed to have this option for her, and it let her thrive and let her, hit some more developmental milestones and, get her home.
She's kicking and just smiling and just as happy as can be.
Melissa Wilson, Fox 26 News.
As Ada continues to grow stronger, her doctors hope that she'll one day breathe freely without support, and that could be within about a year. Well, here's a look at what's coming up on the News Edge at 6. A family makes a plea for justice as the search continues for the driver who killed a Houston couple in a hit-and-run crash last month. A new video shows the man wanted for the deaths of a husband and wife in Arkansas's Devil's Den. He was arrested while getting a haircut. Plus, a first-of-its-kind car show is happening right now in H-Town, and Ruben Dominguez will give us a preview of this weekend's all-star car show. Our Rashi Vats is taking a deeper dive into those stories. Thanks for watching the news at 5. The News Edge Early Edition at 6 starts now.
You're watching the News Edge Early Edition.
It has been exactly a month since a Houston couple was tragically killed in a hit-and-run crash, and so far, no arrests. This is as deputies continue to search for the driver. Crime Stoppers now offering a reward for information in this case. Fox 26's Jillian Hartman live for us outside of Crime Stoppers Houston with those details. Jillian.
Yes, we know that Crime Stoppers here in the Harris County Sheriff's Office are offering a reward for information that will help in this case. And I did speak with the mother of one of the victims, who is also asking for the public's help to find the driver. So here's what we know at this time. On July 1st, Crystal Calvillo and Daniel Perez were riding their bikes along Veterans Memorial Drive in northwest Harris County just before 11 p.m. when Perez was hit by a car. Deputies say the driver stayed on scene, but when Calvillo rushed over to help Perez, a second car hit them and they both died. The second car never stopped, and Crime Stoppers in the Sheriff's Office are now offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. Crystal's mother tells me today she has a message for the driver who killed her daughter.
How could he do it? How can you hit two people and just leave without rendering aid? And because of his actions, now we have to suffer. The kids don't have a mom anymore. And I don't know how you could be human and just leave them there. I need to find out who did this so I can have some type of closure and get justice for Daniel and for Crystal. They deserve that.
Now, the Sheriff's Office just confirmed with us this afternoon that they are looking for a dark-colored 2015 to 2019 Subaru Outback with damage to the driver's left side and center, and they tell me that's the car they believe involved in this hit and run. Now, if anyone has information, make sure to reach out to Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. Reporting live, I'm Jillian Hartman, Fox 26 News.
Well, it has been a pretty pleasant Friday, but we are expecting some big changes tomorrow. Governor Greg Abbott has activated additional state emergency response resources. Meteorologist Ramisha Shade here with your weekend forecast.
That is a good plan because things could get fairly unsettled across the state. We got a stalled front. It's not going to be a tropical disturbance or tropical storm this time, but this front will help to kick off waves of heavy rain and storms. So even though it's pretty quiet right now, we can still get some downpours going this evening, and I expect a lot more for Saturday. So make sure you plan accordingly. Have the rain gear with you and plan on some delays to some of your outdoor activities. Right now, no rain in H-Town, but up towards Livingston, Huntsville, Onalaska, Corrigan, Goodrich, closer to that stalled front. We've got showers breaking out and some heavy downpours and a few storms. And look at this teeny tiny shower that just popped up just south of Needville. So I am thinking we may still have more action developing over the next hour or two. Here is the front stalled to our north. That will trigger more rain. That will come at us in waves this weekend. This is the flood risk for tomorrow. Notice it includes all of Houston and Galveston. Up towards the Woodlands, Huntsville, you're included as well. It's a low flood risk, but it is still there, so be careful. Keep in mind it's not going to be a weekend washout, but plan on some potential delays to your outdoor plans.
All right, well, a former Tomball and Magnolia Independent School District employee has been arrested. Jaime Gonzalez faces charges of online solicitation of a minor and possession of a controlled substance. Gonzalez worked at the bus barn for both Tomball and Magnolia. The school resource officer departments have been notified of his arrest. Houston firefighters rescued a person who fell about 15 feet at a construction site in the Texas Medical Center. The fire technical rescue team moved quickly to get the person down to safety, and they were taken to a nearby hospital. Today, Governor Greg Abbott held a ceremonial signing of legislation passed during the 89th regular legislative session that creates phone-free learning environments in classrooms. This bill requires public school districts or open enrollment charter schools to adopt and implement policies prohibiting students from using a personal communication device in the course of school hours. In addition, the school would either have to prohibit students from bringing devices on campus or provide a way for the student to store the device while on school property. The policy also requires schools to have punishments in place for students who are found using those devices.
Educators and researchers have raised concerns about the impact that smartphones have on student learning and student engagement. Teachers report that phones are a persistent source of distraction in the classroom. they hinder instruction time, and they undermine academic performance.
The policy takes effect on September 1st. The makers of a Texas-based groundbreaking school safety drone service held a demonstration at Texas Southern University today. Now, this was part of a safety summit hosted by the Harris County Department of Education. Campus Guardian Angel partners with law enforcement to confront active shooter threats within seconds to save lives. The operators say they can access the school's camera system in order to help determine if the threat is real before deploying the drone. Professional pilots operate the drone, which is equipped with non-lethal weapons like flashbang grenades and pepper spray. The drone would be the first line of defense before law enforcement officers arrive on the scene and also help protect first responders.
That building in New York City, if we would have had a box of 3 drones outside and a box of 3 drones in the lobby, we could have made a big difference there, right? You talk about Uvalde. That shooter was outside for 3.5 minutes, right? He crashed his car into a culvert 60 yards, 70 yards from the school, and made it, that's a long way to make his way. We would have had boxes staged outside, right? So not every single incident is one that we can impact, but man, a lot of them are. A lot of them really are.
Campus Guardian Angel says the service costs $4 per month per student, and the drones themselves are $15,000 for a box of 6. Well, tomorrow, friends and family and community members will come together to search for a missing man, 65-year-old Juber Sandoval. He's been missing for 12 days. He was last seen on July 20th near Scarsdale Avenue in South Harris County. At that time, he was wearing a blue T-shirt with the Disney character Stitch, blue jeans, sneakers, and a baseball cap. Sandoval's family will gather Saturday morning at 8 a.m. at the Mount Olive Lutheran Church parking lot on Scarsdale. The man accused of murdering 2 people in Arkansas's Devil's Den was in court today. Clinton and Kristen Brink were killed while hiking with their 2 young daughters. We have video that shows law enforcement officers taking 28-year-old Andrew James McGann into custody. This is at a beauty salon and barber shop in Springsdale, Arkansas. State police say after his arrest, he confessed to stabbing a random couple at Devil's Den State Park. A parent from McGann's previous school in Texas says many parents expressed concerns over his teaching style and concerning behavior towards young children in the classroom. He's charged with 2 counts of capital murder and is being held without bond. Ghislaine Maxwell has been moved to a federal prison in Bryan, Texas. No reason has been given for this move, and it comes a week after she met with members of the Department of Justice. Details of what she was asked during that meeting have not yet been released. Now, Maxwell had been serving her 20-year prison sentence in a federal prison in Florida. She was convicted in 2021 of sex trafficking young girls with her longtime companion and former boyfriend, Jeffrey Epstein. The prison camp in Bryan has hosted several celebrity prisoners, and that does include Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes, who's serving an 11-year sentence for fraud, and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Jen Shaw, who's expected to be released in November after serving a 6.5-year sentence for a telemarketing fraud scheme. Israel is under mounting pressure to address starvation in Gaza. Health officials say at least 162 people, including 92 children, have now starved to death there. President Trump sent 2 top officials into Gaza today to assess the humanitarian situation out there.
Oh, it's terrible what's occurring there, yeah. It's a terrible thing.
President Trump is ramping up American efforts to get more aid to starving civilians in the Gaza Strip. Today, he sent 2 high-ranking officials into Gaza, U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, to assess the situation. They spent about 5 hours there and visited an aid distribution center. Quote, the purpose of the visit was to give POTUS a clear understanding of the humanitarian situation and help craft a plan to deliver food.
We wanted Israel to watch over it. Part of the problem is Hamas is taking the money and they're taking the food.
It comes as doctors in Gaza are reporting significant signs of starvation across the entire population, and the death toll due to lack of food is climbing quickly.
The majority of people have signs of malnutrition, both the adults and the children. Many children are passing out literally during the day.
European countries like France and Spain are now joining a massive airdrop effort started by Gaza's Arab neighbors, but only a ceasefire can provide the access needed to feed the entire territory. Talks are ongoing, but no progress has been reported as the humanitarian crisis gets worse.
This is, of course, an urgent call, especially for the terrorists of Hamas, to lay down the weapons.
President Trump said today he's working on a new plan to get people fed in Gaza. Well, many of the main storylines for the Houston Texans this offseason has been how the offense will come together with new coordinator Nick Calley. With Calley, the Texans will have a different pass game, multiple rushing schemes that center on physicality, and more running in between the tackles. But before the coaching staff could bring that vision to life, Houston used the spring to figure out the strengths of the players and how those fit within the new offense. Coach Calley says he feels the offense is coming along.
I think it's timing. I think it's, being a little, anchoring a little bit more at times in the protection piece of it, being able to play more on time, got to do a better job myself, maybe getting some more quick options there early on too. I think it's collectively, it's everything. It's not just one person. It's never just one person or one facet. Just think we got to continue to all evolve and get better, collectively. So there's been improvement. There's been steady improvement every single day. So it's just a matter of continuing to refine it. I mean, we get as good a work as we're going to get out here against our defense. It truly is iron sharpening iron. So, we're getting good looks. We're getting to correct some things. We're getting to clean up some things. But there's been steady progress, so I've been happy with it.
I didn't realize it was so soon, but the Texans' first preseason game is a week from tomorrow at Minnesota. They begin the regular season at the Los Angeles Rams on September 7th. And that wraps up your rundown. Still ahead, though, President Trump announces historic new U.S. tariffs, but moves the deadline again. We'll have a live report on the latest.
Texas summers are brutal.
For us, near 100 today and tomorrow.
And it's even worse without AC. We're helping 5 Houston area senior citizens cool off. Thanks to our partners, they're getting new air conditioners to battle those triple-digit temps. Watch Heat Wave Heroes next week on Houston's Morning Show and the new HTX 10 on Fox Local.
President Trump pushing back the start date for tariffs yet again, and this time to August 7th. Meantime, leaders around the world are working to cut a trade deal with the U.S. Fox's Caroline Elliott joining us live from Toronto as Canadian leaders continue negotiations with the White House. Caroline.
Rashi, sources tell us that Canada and the U.S. will likely continue negotiations over the weekend, even after President Trump slapped that 35% tariff on Canada late last night. And according to President Trump, the reason behind this decision really goes back to the flow of fentanyl from Canada into the United States. Well, today, Prime Minister Mark Carney is now responding for the first time, saying, quote, the U.S. has justified its most recent trade action on the basis of the cross-border flow of fentanyl, despite the fact that Canada accounts for only 1% of U.S. fentanyl imports and has been working intensively to further reduce these volumes. The Prime Minister said negotiations will continue, but in the meantime, Canadians will be our own best customer. Around Toronto, signs now popping up in some stores that say, in response to U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods, products produced in the U.S. are no longer available until further notice. We're told Canada's negotiation team is willing to wait and fight for the right deal.
The White House is good at pressurizing negotiations. The President of the United States is a businessman. The Prime Minister of Canada is a businessman. It's a different tone of very quiet negotiations now, different than we've had in the past. We think that's the path to a good mutual deal. We'll stay at the table until that happens.
So far, the White House has cut around a dozen trade deals with leaders around the world. And according to President Trump, the deals could bring in trillions of dollars.
We're making a lot of deals. We're making deals for trillions, trillions and trillions. Nobody's ever seen anything quite like it. We just made a couple of others.
World leaders now have until late next week to cut a deal with the U.S. before those tariffs go into effect. Rashi.
Thank you so much. Now let's talk about the weather. We are expecting some showers in some parts of the Houston area. We have Ramisha Shade tracking it for us.
That's right. We got the rain potential, Rashi, going up for the weekend. Not many downpours now, but they will be increasing, especially for Saturday. I've been monitoring a tiny shower trying to bubble up just south of Needville, kind of struggling at this point. However, if you hop to the north, we do have heavier rain and even some strong storms trying to get going right around Livingston and over towards Huntsville. The reason that these cells are having a better chance at survival, well, they are closer to a front that continues to hang out a little bit to our north. So we did have a little bit of rain down around Wharton, El Campo. That has kind of fallen apart, but you can see our next big weather maker. This is the stalled front that I think will drop a little bit farther to the south tomorrow, and that will mean more of those downpours that are staying north of us now are going to be in and around Houston, Pearland, Galveston, Sugar Land. So get ready. It's not going to be a weekend washout the entire time, but our Fox weather model will show more of these downpours popping up around the area. So 1 or 2 isolated showers and storms through about sunset for your Friday evening plans. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy for today or tonight. Heading into tomorrow, though, the first part of the day starts off fairly dry, but then boom, look at all of the different colors right over the Houston area. This is around 5 p.m. tomorrow. Very heavy rain could lead to a quick 2, 3, maybe 4 inches of rain for a few spots. And then we will start to see a lot of that action starting to wind down around 9 p.m. So there's tons of things going on across Houston tomorrow. So just make sure you're prepared for some potential interruptions. We're going to repeat this for Sunday. That front will kind of still be hanging out. I don't think there will be as much rain around, but it's still going to be a possibility. So how much rain are we talking about? Well, this particular model is showing maybe around a 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain, but it's the stronger storms that pop up that could dump maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain. You can see where we have the highest flood potential through the weekend, and that's going to be across parts of the southeastern U.S., Georgia, the Carolinas. So that is where we could have maybe 3 to 5 inches of rain. So if you're going to be out and about enjoying some pool time over the next few hours, look for a brief shower or two, especially between 7 to 9 p.m. After that, we start to dry things out. Even by 7 o'clock, temperatures still right around 90 degrees. Texans have been in training mode for the last several days, still going on for tomorrow, and I believe the training will start around 9 a.m., open to the public. You can see a lot of stormy icons here. So yes, there will be the chance for some downpours, especially as we get past lunchtime. So it is going to be on the stormy and soggy side for parts of your weekend. So plan accordingly. Middle 90s this weekend, close to triple digits though next week as some of that rain starts to roll out and those temperatures start to creep up.
All right, Ramisha, thank you. Well, the first ever car show at any Major League Baseball park takes over Daikin Park this weekend. We've got a preview when we come back.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored, weeknights at 10:30 on Fox 26 and streaming on Fox Local. This newscast is brought to you by CenterPoint Energy, building the nation's most resilient coastal grid.
Over at Daikin Park, we usually see baseball all-stars, but this weekend it will be full of all-star cars. Fox 26's Ruben Dominguez has a preview.
The All-Star Car Show, guys, it is a one-of-a-kind event. It has never happened on an MLB field, but guess who's first? The Houston Astros.
That's right. We like to be first all the time.
And this is a home run already, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's feeling really good. The cars look great, and they look great on our field.
It is beautiful to be here with you this morning, and thank you for letting us in for a little sneak peek. All right, Lamborghini, guys, this is a beauty. This is one of 20 that you just saw, by the way. All right, Rachel, I think this is more your style, McLaren, right?
Yeah, I like the color, nice and dark.
Yeah.
And I'll take a hypercar any day.
Nice and fast too. That's a beauty. I've never seen one of those in person. I'm a little partial to this Porsche, I got to tell you.
It's pretty beautiful. I love the color too.
Yeah. We're not going to get into the nuts and bolts or the specs here, guys. We're just admiring. We're just walking around. It's kind of like me in an art gallery. I don't really know anything about art. I just know I love looking at it.
And
so
that's exactly it.
So for folks that are coming down, I know that tickets are available at the door. They can also go online, correct?
Correct. Astros.com/car show, and you can get tickets.
That is a thing of beauty. The tickets and the cars, by the way. Okay, here we go. I love this. I love anything that looks this fast.
Well, anything with a racing stripe.
Anything with a racing stripe, I am into it. All right, so we're going to have about 400 cars in the building. Is that correct?
Well, 400 cars on site. In the building, we'll have about 100 cars.
Okay.
And then out on our lots, out here on Crawford Street, in
cool.
Apache Grove, we have cars everywhere, all around the building and in the building.
That's amazing. It's really weird. We were talking about this earlier. You know, I've stood on this field so many times for opening day or the playoffs or the postseason or World Series. It is very weird, but very cool having all these cars here.
It is very cool
Surreal.
having all these cars here, and very surreal.
Yeah, I love that. I think this is a great thing, and I hope you guys do it again, man, because I think this is going to be a hit with the fans. And roof will be closed when folks come into the park,
yeah,
right?
Roof closed tomorrow, nice and
blasted.
cool. AC blasted, nice and cool inside here at Dyken Park, and lots of beverages and refreshments to keep you cool as well. You can come, you can see all of the cars on the concourse. You can, if you're GA, you can sit in the bowl and just admire all the cars on the field.
I love it. All right, guys, so there you go. All-star car show, one of a kind. It never been done before, but guess what? The Astros were the ones to do it, hitting it out of the park as always. Come on down and have a good time. Ruben Dominguez, Fox 26 News.
In tonight's primetime lineup, starting at 7, a 2-hour episode of Fox's The Fixer. And then tonight on the news at 9, another victim in what appears to be an ongoing scam with Wells Fargo. A customer is frauded out of thousands of dollars. Our Randy Wallace is working to get the victim's money back. That's coming up. Well, that will do it for us on the News Edge Early Edition. I am Rashi Vatz. We appreciate you joining me. TMZ is next. Have a great night.
All right, welcome to Houston Live and Local. I'm Caroline Collins. Happy Friday night to you. We are kicking things off tonight with a look at our weather forecast. Meteorologist Ramisha Shade is in here to tell us about some rain that we need to be on the lookout for.
I've got to do a micro forecast for in here. Freezing.
It is probably about, what do you think, like 60 degrees in here?
It feels like, like I say, my fingers are numb. So it's like, it's so crazy. I need 2 minutes outside.
I actually have a blanket. This is my blanket.
And you see my coat that I wear while I'm getting my work done.
It's very cold.
Fur hood, like it's wintertime.
It's cold. We're not kidding, but it is hot outside. We actually step outside and we can stand out there
warm up
for about 10 minutes.
I sit in my car and turn the heat on.
I know, it's crazy. It's like I don't start sweating for like 10 minutes, so I go out there because of how cold it is in here. But anyway, we're talking about some rain you need to be on the lookout for.
Yes, I will eventually get out and warm up. But yes, you will need some rain gear for this weekend because we do have a decent shot for more heavy downpours. Now, I don't think it's going to be 10, 20 inches of rain or anything like that. Nothing super crazy. We've had that in Houston before, but maybe 2, 3, 4 inches in a few spots. Yeah, that is a possibility. So let's see what's happening with our radar right now. Houston, not dealing with any rain. We did have one little shower developing south of Needville, but that has fallen apart. Farther north, though, closer to a stalled out front, we do have some of these showers and storms breaking out. So that's going to include parts of Walker County, Polk, San Jacinto counties. That's where we have more of the action. So Livingston, Huntsville, Onalaska, and getting close to Shepherd. That's where we have the better chance for rain at this point. So bottom line, you will need to be prepared for some of these downpours as we go through the next couple of days because we are going to have the potential for more of these showers and storms to develop. Like I said, we do have a front that is actually a little bit to our north, and that's helping to kick off some of these downpours. So that is what we're concerned about as we go through the weekend. There is the front. You can see it's very close to Houston, a little to the north. Now, some of the models are indicating that it is going to drop south just enough to kick off more widespread showers and storms for your Saturday. So that was the Saturday setup. Front just to our north, plenty of moisture out there, and of course as those temperatures climb to the 90s, this weekend is not going to take much for spotty heavy rain. So we do have a low flood risk for Houston, 1 out of 4 for the rest of today and actually for all of tomorrow as well. I want to show you what the Fox weather model is showing for your weekend. Just an isolated downpour this evening if you're going to go out and enjoy a great meal, maybe at one of the restaurants participating in Houston Restaurant Weeks, because today is day 1. It's a month-long thing, but we are there. This year is flying by. Also want to show you if you are going out maybe tomorrow for some dinner, maybe early, 5, 6 o'clock, look what you might encounter. Fox weather model painting a lot of rain, heavy rain over the area from Houston to League City, maybe down towards Pearland and Galveston. That is going to be Saturday afternoon and evening. Here's Sunday afternoon, still a decent shot for some downpours, especially near the coast, but maybe not quite as widespread. So between the 2 days this weekend, I think Saturday will be a little soggier than Sunday, but off and on again rain all weekend long. So just be prepared.
Okay, Ramisha, thank you for that update, and hopefully I can spend some time outside as well to warm up.
It doesn't take long, just a couple of minutes, and these fingers will come back to life.
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
They're cold.
All right, well, we have a new tonight, a family's plea for justice as the search continues for the driver who killed a Houston couple in a hit-and-run crash back last month. Now, while deputies are investigating, Crime Stoppers are now offering a reward for any information on this case. Our Fox 26's Jillian Hartman spoke with the victims who's pushing for answers, the mother of one of the victims, who is hoping to bring an end to this investigation.
I'm not at peace, and I won't be at peace until they found who did this.
The families of Crystal Calvillo and Daniel Perez are pushing for justice. On July 1st, Calvillo and Perez were riding their bikes along Veterans Memorial Drive in northwest Harris County just before 11 p.m. when Perez was hit by a car. Deputies say the driver stayed on scene, but when Calvillo rushed over to help Perez, a second car hit them and they both died. The second car never stopped.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I didn't want to believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was such a shock to me, to all the family.
Crystal's mother says a part of her is missing with her daughter gone.
I'm never going to be the same without my daughter. You know, and now the kids have to grow up without a mom because of somebody's actions. Crystal was a very loving, very caring. She was a good mom. She loved her kids. And it just, when this happened and how it happened, it just doesn't surprise me that she went out there to help Daniel. And I just can't believe somebody would just hit them and leave without even stopping and rendering help. So it's been very hard.
Crime Stoppers in the Harris County Sheriff's Office are offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest or charges. Crystal's mother is also asking for the public's help.
My plea is for the public to come forward. If they know anything about the accident or if they've seen anything, I need to find out who did this so I can have some type of closure and get justice for Daniel and for Crystal. They deserve that.
Well, the sheriff's office just confirmed details about the second car involved in the hit and run. They are now looking for a 2015 to 2019 Subaru Outback, dark colored, and damage to the driver's left side and center. Anyone with information on this deadly hit and run case should please call Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. Also today, Governor Greg Abbott signed House Bill 1481, the phone-free classroom bill, during a ceremony in Amarillo, Texas.
If we're going to be number one, it's going to require the undivided attention of our students in the classroom. Right now, the way that classrooms operate, the attention of our students is taken in a lot of different directions, in part because of the cell phone in their hand, in their pocket, in their purse, or whatever the case may be. Educators and researchers have raised concerns about the impact that smartphones have on student learning and student engagement. Teachers report that phones are a persistent source of distraction in the classroom. They hinder instruction time, and they undermine academic performance. Well, your own leader right here from Amarillo, Caroline Fairley, led the way in writing a bill that addresses those concerns. Thank you, Representative Caroline Fairley, for getting legislation to my desk. It is House Bill 1481 that she worked on along with I think Senator Creighton.
Yes, sir.
Senator Creighton, and I'll sign here shortly. Let me just briefly describe what it does, and we'll sign it here in a second. It requires all public schools to restrict cell phone use by students during the school day. It gives, however, school districts flexibility to establish policies that meet the unique needs of their particular district. We know in Austin, Texas, we can't pass a one-size-fits-all program that's going to work in Amarillo as well as McAllen at the same time. So we're giving a level of flexibility to Amarillo ISD to be able to make sure that they're going to be able to maintain policies that keep phones out of the hands of students during instruction time, but also knowing that certain parents will have needs, certain students will have needs, and the school may have certain needs, all of which the school board will be able to address. So once again, I want to thank Representative Fairley and Senator Creighton for their work on that bill, which I'll sign in 1 second. I'm going to sign two together. Another one is one that Representative Fairley also worked on. Also, it involves our children and phones, but addresses it from a different direction. One thing that we're very concerned about with students is, again, their time and focus in classes, but also their mental health and their personal health and what's happening to them, especially what's happening to them by exposure, not only to use of a cell phone, but by things like social media. Experts have explained that smartphones and social media affect the mental health of children. It can become highly addictive. It can subject children to adult contact and even sexual exploitation. Those are just some of the reasons why the legislature passed Senate Bill 2420. It's also known as the App Store Accountability Act. It requires app stores like the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, to verify users' age when creating an account. Parental consent must be obtained before a minor can download an app or make an in-app purchase. What this does, it rightfully restores power back to parents over what their children are doing. To give you a feel for how important this is, not just in Texas, but nationally, some of the groups that weighed in and said that we needed to get this bill passed included not just the Texas Medical Association, the Texas Pediatric Association, but also the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. I want to thank Senator Paxton as well as Representative Fairley for getting this legislation to my desk. And now, let me sign these laws.